Welcome to Africa channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to help us.
You need to carry 8 passengers and luggage on fully paved vacation adventures. Buck convention and go for the roomier van, or follow the herd into the SUV? Let's start out by admitting nothing we say here will reverse the trend of customers buying 6 to 8 Kia Telluride's 3-row SUVs for every lonely Kia Carnival minivan that snags a taker. Perhaps that's because the Telluride earned our 2020 SUV of the Year honors fresh out of the gate and holds the number 1 position on Motor Trend's Ultimate Car Rankings tally of 3-row SUVs, and the Carnival ranks 4th among vans without ever winning the calipers. More likely it's just that vans are out of fashion. Even so, we constantly get compliments on our long-term Carnival styling, and the automotive cognoscenti knows that for a given footprint any decent minivan will accommodate more people and stuff in greater comfort than a similar-sized SUV. To refresh our understanding of what such savvy shoppers give up by choosing the Carnival, we recently borrowed a Telluride to find out. Outside, our Carnival is 6.1 inches longer on a 7.5 inch longer wheelbase, and it's 0.2 inch wider than the Telluride. With no butch off-roading pretension, it stands 0.8 inch lower in overall height with 1.2 inch less ground clearance. Despite that longer wheelbase, the van's turning circle is about 10 inches smaller, making it slightly more maneuverable. Passenger space: the first 2 rows in the Telluride and Carnival are close enough in size that passengers won't notice much difference, aside from the greatly increased hip and shoulder room in the Carnival's second row. It's the third row that really sells the van, with 4.2 inches more leg and shoulder room and 6.7 inches more hip room. The 9.0 cubic feet of additional space might mean the difference between agony and apathy for 3 adult occupants of the way back. Cargo volume: a shorter nose on a longer body with a lower floor means the Carnival's boxier, largest in class interior offers 58.1 cubic feet, 66.8% more, overall cargo volume if you muscle all its seats out. Collapse their third rows, and the van's advantage plunges to just 4.4 cubic feet. The most generally useful difference is behind the third row seats, where the Carnival virtually doubles the Telluride space, 40.2 versus 21.0 cubic feet. That can mean the difference between needing a roof rack or cargo hitch basket on a family vacation. No surprise, the SUV is rated to tow more than the minivan, 5,000 pounds for the Telluride versus 3,500 for the Carnival. Our mid-grade long-term Carnival X weighs 387 pounds more than our lower-spec long-term front-drive Telluride S did. But the gross vehicle weight rating roughly keeps pace: 6,140 pounds for the Carnival, 5,776 for the Telluride, roughly equalizing the respective payloads at 1,531 and 1,514 pounds. In both cases, that's a vacation reasonable 190-ish pounds allotted to each of the 8 occupants. Both vehicles are powered by the Hyundai Motor Group's Lambda V6 engine, which produces 290 firsts of a horsepower, van/SUV, and 262 pounds-to-foot. The SUVs use a second-gen variant that displaces 3.8 liters, while the van gets a third-gen, smaller-bore 3.5-liter version. Essentially the same transmission and gearing is used for both. AWD Tellurides get a slightly shorter axle ratio. Not surprisingly, the van, carrying about 10% more pounds per horsepower, is about 12% slower to 60 miles per hour. Nobody will care, as the Carnival's 7.7 seconds doesn't feel lethargic compared with the Telluride's 6.9 seconds, especially as folks seldom floor their minivans and 3-row SUVs. You might expect their aerodynamics to differ. In fact, both drag coefficients round to 0.34 and frontal areas are very close, so highway fuel economy is the same. The minivan's added weight costs at a point in city and combined MPG, but a slightly larger fuel tank nearly equalizes EPA estimated range, leaving us with 19/26 seconds of a mile per gallon and 418 miles for the Carnival versus 20/26 23rds of a mile per gallon and 432 miles for the front-drive Telluride. Selecting AWD drops that to 18/24/21 and 395. You'll pay more for the hotter Telluride. Our mid-grade Carnival X, the sweet spot in the lineup, starts at $39,965 for 2023, $2,890 less than a similarly equipped Telluride X. Stepping down to the Telluride S drops the price to $39,155, leaving budget for a $600 sunroof that's unavailable on all but the top Carnival SX Prestige, but your sound system will be downgraded from 8 speakers to 6, and you'll do without a power liftgate, not to mention power side doors, front and rear park distance warning, side window sunshades, and other niceties. As much as Kia has strived to make the Carnival look more SUV-ish than other vans, you won't mistake it for the Telluride from behind the wheel, where the SUV sits slightly higher and rides slightly harsher, on standard 235/55 or 19 rubber, versus 245/50 or 20 tires. Beyond that, unless you're actively looking for that 0.6 to 0.9 second acceleration difference, these machines drive and sound fairly similar. Anyone contemplating a long vacation with a family of 6 or 8 owes it to themselves to make peace with the Carnival's attractive for a minivan styling and abandon the delusional assumption that you need a vehicle capable of tackling rugged 2-tracks. Your future heirs relegated to the back row may remember this kindness when choosing your elder care home. But if your third row is just for infrequent carpool accommodation and you're not a regular at the weekly flea markets, you have our blessing to go for the front drive Telluride and tell folks it was an efficiency play.
We have come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to help us.